In Maryland, a huge break in the Rachel Morin case leads to the killer, but the police need your help to identify him. In Louisiana, coffee giant Starbucks goes after a family-owned small business, accusing the owners of copyright infringement. And in Michigan, a customer at a gas station fights back against a would-be robber who decided to take a knife to a gunfight. These stories and more are coming at you today, Thursday, August 24th, on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino, and once again, none of my stories made it into the tease.
Well,
which
I go with the best
pretty
ones,
easy
Mike.
to do since you tease 3. You actually never do if you look at the data.
Okay.
The
Whatever
3
you say.
people, 3 stories to tease, and none of mine included. So got that down. Another topic for next board.
I let a third party select the best ones, and that's what
bullshit.
they select.
That is bullshit.
It's not.
That is bullshit.
That's funny.
I need a BS meter in here.
I'm telling you, it's
we
a
can
third
just
party.
watch the dial on the BS meter as the show goes along.
Third party, you know who you
I'm
are.
going to get one of those buzzer buttons that anytime you start doing your unsanctioned shit, I'm going to go, bah.
That's right. We'll just play it all the way through where all you hear is muffled mic. Muffled mic. Hashtag. All right. We're going to get into some crime time today. Woody Overton, what you think about that?
I love the crime time. And
look, we're going to start it off with the Rachel Morin case.
Goody. We haven't heard enough of that one.
We have a huge update on this case. DNA has linked the killing of this Maryland hiker to a Los Angeles home invasion. So DNA evidence of the recent killing of the Maryland woman whose body was found near a hiking trail has been led to that Los Angeles home invasion and assault of a girl earlier this year. Both cases remain unsolved. Detectives matched DNA collected from the crime scenes, but they have not yet identified the suspect. Following a news conference last Thursday evening, authorities released surveillance footage and photos of the suspect from video captured while he was leaving the house, and that was on a Ring camera that authorities said he broke into in March. Rachel Morin, 37, left her home to go hiking on the evening of August 5th and never returned. Her boyfriend reported her missing later that night, and her car was found near an entrance to the trail she frequented. Her body was discovered the following day, and it was widely reported. We believe this was the person that Rachel probably didn't know, Colonel William Davis with the Hartford County Sheriff's Office said at the news conference, calling the killing a potentially random act of violence. Davis said law enforcement had no idea where the suspect is now. He said DNA evidence recovered from Morin's body matched another sample in the National Law Enforcement Database, which is how detectives linked those 2 cases, and he declined to provide additional info about the Los Angeles assault, saying only that the victim was a young girl. Authorities said they hope someone will recognize the suspect from the surveillance footage and help detectives make an arrest. So here's what we're going to do here on Real Life Real Crime Daily. We have that footage. We're going to post it on our page. And this is in hopes that maybe a listener might recognize this guy. I can tell you it's not what you would think. The guy is it looks like a taller, athletic guy, very muscular build. He's seen leaving the residence in Los Angeles shirtless, pants on, and he had enough, wherewithal to know where that Ring camera was. So when he exited that door, he had his back turned to the Ring camera where you could not see his face, and you could tell that was intentional. It's only about a 10-second clip, and then I took and I froze images from that Ring camera so you can look at those too.
And so Jim, so I'm clear, the Ring camera thing was a rape that he did.
Correct. Home invasion and rape.
In California.
Yes.
And Rachel Morin was found on the other side of the country.
Maryland.
In Maryland, murdered and probably raped also hiking trail.
And,
We need y'all's help, people, to identify them.
And yes, absolutely. I would suspect that somebody out there is going to recognize this guy in the next few days.
Right. You said he's pretty stout.
Yeah, he's definitely a recognizable individual.
And he travels the whole country, and there's going to be a whole lot more bodies on him, I can assure you.
Yeah, and look, he graduated from a home invasion and a rape to a murder.
Right.
Assuming there's not any more out there, which there probably are, but assuming there wasn't, he is now in the murder category, and this guy's not going to stop, in my opinion.
Absolutely agree. And y'all, what we'll do, let's post, Jim's put that clip together, and we're going to post it on our social media and on our TikTok. You can go follow us on TikTok at Real Life, Real Crime. Crazy. I don't know, you coast to coast, bro. That's crazy. All right, so let me take you to
truck driver, maybe. I
don't know. Take you to Alaska, and a 21-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of killing his National Guard member wife after he pleaded for her safe return and helped her mother search for her. Saria Hildebrand was reported missing to the Anchorage Police Department on August 7th after she was last seen the morning prior. Anchorage Police announced that Hildebrand's disappearance was being investigated as a homicide, and as a result, police arrested her husband, Zarius Hildebrand, on charges of first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and tampering with evidence. Investigators discovered Sarah Hildebrand's body in a storm drain. I don't know. You wouldn't think of like Anchorage having storm drains, but I guess they do. Both Hildebrands were in the military. Saria Hildebrand served in the Alaskan Army National Guard, and Zarius was in the 2nd Infantry Brigade combat team, and he was also airborne. Saria recently moved to Alaska from Utah, where she also served in the Utah Army National Guard. On August 5th, the couple reportedly spent the night out with friends for his 21st birthday. They got back to their apartment in the early morning hours on August 6th. A neighbor reportedly heard a gunshot at 2:45 a.m. Zarius informed investigators his wife went to work at 10 a.m. but left her phone at home. At 10:45 a.m., however, her co-workers got a text from her saying she was not coming in that day. Hildebrand allegedly didn't really worry about his wife until 12 hours later when he started driving around and searching for her. He claimed he reported her missing Monday, August the 7th, because he thought she would come home, and claimed it was a misunderstanding. Hildebrand changed his story several times about what he did on August 6th, and a subsequent investigation determined he went to a store and bought marinara sauce, hydrogen peroxide, sheets, a mattress cover, a spray bottle, and other items. Investigators searched the apartment and discovered the mattress was saturated by human blood. Detectives said there was so much blood on the mattress that the blood soaked through onto the carpet and into the wood frame. That you're not alive if it's that much blood, people. And Saria's mom, Meredith Barney, said Zarius walked around for hours with me, searching for my daughter, knowing that she was dead. He lied to me multiple times and tried to play it off like he was a concerned husband. Ooh, they're going to kill his ass.
He wasn't very concerned.
Yeah, right?
Don't think.
I don't get it. I don't know. I wonder if the military would prosecute him because he's an active member. If they do, that he gets the firing squad, it'd be good for him.
I'd like to see that.
Yes, me too. Put that on pay-per-view. And
perhaps this woman in our next story could join him. Let me give 2 warnings before this story. First is, Jerry Ann, if you are listening, you need to go full earmuffs.
Uh-oh.
And Jim, it's a 4-pager, buddy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
It's a 4-pager. Mike's got 4 pages of notes. Depending, actually, Jim, on your behavior during the story, I'm good because I know I know how I can shorten things and the corners I can go
You're
around.
already a minute in.
Yeah.
Just for the intro.
The clock doesn't start until the intro's over.
Okay.
But I'm going to need some actual participation from you.
Okay.
We're going to Colorado. A Colorado mother of 15, 1-5, has been arrested after her husband's body was found on her lawn, and she was caught hiding behind a fake wall in her trailer. This all happened 4 years after the couple was accused of child abuse and boiling puppies alive in front of their kids. Nice picture of this lovely woman. Her name is Martina Crouch, age 57.
Nice, with the oxygen, too.
And she's got the oxygen going. She doesn't look very happy there. She was 57, and her husband, Timothy, was 62. They were accused by their then 18-year-old daughter in 2019 of running a house of horrors that led to charges of child abuse, cruelty to animals, and obstructing an investigation. She took a plea deal to plead a no contest to a fourth-degree felony count of attempted child abuse to avoid jail time back in December of 2021. 2 days later, however, Crouch violated her probation and a warrant was put out for arrest. So crimes happened 4 years ago. 2 days after them, she violated her parole and had not been seen or heard from since then. Nearly 20 months later, Huerfano County sheriffs found her after her husband was found dead in Walsenburg, Colorado. One of the couple's 15 children, who was estranged from the parents, believed some of her siblings, including ones that have special needs, were still living with their father. After authorities identified Crouch and realized his wife was still wanted for skipping out on probation, they returned to the residence with a warrant. That's when they went in the home. That's when they found the fake wall in the trailer. And what do you know? Once they got behind the fake wall, they found Crouch and her daughter. The couple's daughter, Lizzie Crouch, told authorities back in 2019 that she had been abused by her mother, who told her that she was not her real mother, and she was also abused by her father, who told all of the children that they were too stupid to go to school. None of these kids were going to school. There were 15 of them. Both Martha and Timothy, he, believe it or not, was a former reserve sheriff's deputy, denied the charges at the time. But Lizzie Crouch, who's the fourth youngest of the 15 kids, talked about how life inside the squalid ranch house was loveless and routinely cruel. I'll never be able to get the images out of my mind, seeing my mother dropping newborn puppies into boiling water and the smell of them cooking on the stovetop. I used to wake up screaming, hearing the puppies in my nightmares, squealing as they boiled to death. The last time Lizzie saw her mother boil dogs could not have been more horrific. It was on her 17th birthday. Our dog Lady had a litter of puppies a few weeks earlier. I was in my bedroom and my mother came in and said, "I have a birthday present for you." I'll let you guys figure out what that birthday present was. I think you can do it. So after all of this, they finally have the mother, and now she is back in custody after 4 years of running around. She tortured all of these kids and boiled puppies 8 different times, 8 different litters of puppies.
That's a lot of puppies. I wonder if she went on Craigslist or somewhere and got them for free.
She
boiling puppies. That is a
she needs the firing squad with.
And that was in Colorado, and the last Mile High we did was in Denver, Colorado. And I got to give a shout out real quick because it just popped in my head when you're talking about Colorado. My niece Hattie is living in Denver now. She's running IT or something for one of the major universities. And she messaged me the other day and said, "Hey, Uncle Woody, your biggest fan is driving up to see me from Louisiana." So shout out to her best friend. And no, I don't know her name because I'm bad with names. Y'all know that. I can barely remember my niece's name. It's Hattie, though.
Yeah, you said it right at the get-go, so.
Anyway, shout out.
And I checked. You didn't have it written down anywhere. I don't see it.
You're right.
Not on your phone. That's good. She should be proud of you.
All right, so we're gonna bring you to Livingston Parish,
LP,
the LP, and if you know anything about,
sorry, I am so sorry.
That's all right.
Gotta say, got a little special something coming up on a Friday in a couple weeks here.
That's right.
It's going to be
the Jason Ard golf tournament, 11th annual.
Who's going to be playing in it? The foursome Ago, Woody,
Jim in the ringer. Although Ago may be pretty good at golf. I don't know.
Are we early favorites in this tournament?
I think
the guy we're playing with wins just about every tournament he enters.
I would think with you and him, we have a shot because I'm going to be drinking beer and knocking the ball behind me.
So it's a best ball deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
best ball. And I have to even get my driver back from my son because he took it without my knowing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we'll be there with all LPs Elite.
That's right.
And come
Fort
see
and
us.
Sheriff. Right. That's right.
Sorry.
You know what? I meant to tell you this. I didn't tell you this. So I'm driving back from Texas after I went through Buc-ee's, and I'm in Alexandria.
Oh, yeah.
And I look up, and I'm going 82, 83.
You better not get pulled over there.
In a 70, and a sheriff is right on my ass. And I looked at Jerry Ann and I go, honey, if that guy pulls us over, we are effed in a big way. If he figures out in any way that I am connected to Woody, it's over for us. She's like, well, slow the fuck down.
Right.
I thought he was.
I do not speed through. I avoid going through Rapids. I have to go.
If that was me and my wife, I'd have been like, honey, if that guy pulls us over, show him your titties.
Does that work?
I don't know.
We haven't been pulled over yet. Probably not, but
I'm going under the speed limit when I get there. I can tell you
I
that.
did notice, when we were talking about that highest peak in Louisiana, 500 something feet. I think it must be right in there because when you drive through there's a lot of hills. It's actually kind of pretty.
It's north of there. When you hung a left on go through Shreveport, it's just
like 40 on the Interstate 49 or something.
Yeah. Hey y'all, changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high quality items I adore, ensure my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high quality items like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty, it's awesome, and it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cindy got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdowns scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
All right, so
I'm learning Louisiana, folks.
We're going to bring you to Livingston Parish, and look, if you know anything about me, you know that I have a huge heart for family-owned business,
right?
You know, and support them as much as possible, and can't stand to see when things like this happen. The owners of an online coffee company based out of Livingston Parish have found themselves in a legal trademark battle with coffee giant Starbucks, and it has to do with the company's name, Sirens Brew Coffee Company. Wednesday, August 16th was a typical day for this coffee company. Sarah Hamilton was busy packing up boxes of orders from her nautical-themed apparel brand for fans across the world. She packs all the orders from a building behind their home in Denham Springs with the help of her mother, Monica. The pair started the company together back in 2017. We were living in Florida, and I grew up in Alaska, so I missed the mountains, but we were living by the beach, and I wanted to write a blog called Mountains and Mermaids. And when we moved back to Alaska and decided to take that brand name and turn it into a brand, Mountains and Mermaids and Sirens Brew Company were born. As a former barista, Sarah knew that she wanted to somehow incorporate coffee into the new company years ago. And we came out with the Sirens Brew design, and people asked, well, are you going to carry coffee? And that's what we did. And we started carrying it. And that's when we got in our mess with Starbucks. The Sirens Brew Coffee Company was born under that Mountains and Mermaids brand. The ruling was made just a few months back, absolutely crushing the small business owners. A lot of small businesses didn't make it through COVID, and we did. And then to get slapped again, it's pretty hard, said Monica. The woman described their fight as something similar to David versus Goliath, with most of the proceeds from coffee and apparel sales now going towards legal bills. They say they will continue to fight what they do and love and protect the valuable trademark. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're Starbucks, Nike, Dunkin', whatever. Small businesses should also have a right to protect their brand as much as anybody else. This from Sarah, who claims she filed the trademark for her company's name, which included the word siren, before Starbucks did. This is not the first time the company has clashed with Starbucks over the trademarks. The ladies will continue to sell their coffee while they challenge the ruling, and business isn't slowing down. They sold around 300 pounds of coffee online just last month alone. A spokesman with Starbucks said Starbucks respects the rights of intellectual property holders and will take appropriate action when necessary to protect its own intellectual property rights. We are pleased with the trademark trial and appeal board's decision that Sirens Brewing is confusingly similar to Starbucks' right in siren for coffee. So if you go look at these two logos, they're completely different. Now, Starbucks does have a siren on their logo, but it is a totally different looking siren, and the logos aren't even shaped the same. you would not think it was a Starbucks branded coffee by looking at that logo. And me as a common sense person, that's what I would look for. Would I?
Yeah.
It's like they locked up. You can't use Siren in your logo at all because we're Starbucks. It is, just the fact, this is just a little small business, man.
What's this real crime in it is that the attorneys for Starbucks are not in-house, right? They're getting paid all the money to do this. And this little local company is having to pay lawyers to defend themselves.
That's right.
So
and
they're losing no matter what.
They're losing no matter what. And that's what some of these corporations rely on is you just run out of money.
Right. Yeah. That's what will wear you down.
Yeah. So
I've lived that.
Wish them the best of luck and maybe give them some support.
How'd they get to Denham Springs back from Alaska?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I should have them on Local Leaders podcast and I could ask them. It'd be interesting.
Interesting. All right. So
can I have a couple comments on the story?
Sure.
First of all, for Starbucks to notice a company of that size is, number one, an extreme compliment to that company that Starbucks would bother
Starbucks
to F with
should
them.
just buy them out.
Okay. Yeah. Secondly, they're actually in a great position to give Starbucks an awful lot of bad PR for picking on a little guy. If they got hooked up with the right people who know how to do one of those attacks, this is ridiculous for a company selling 300 pounds of coffee a month versus what Starbucks does, that they're worried about stepping on you. Yeah. I mean, I think that I'm surprised that they can't find some folks willing to do pro bono work and take this fight to Starbucks, because you could create some really bad PR for them that they deserve. Understand that how critical it is for big companies to protect their IP, but this is not a threat to their IP. This is just beyond the pale in terms of enforcing IP.
Me drinking the Starbucks, like in the cans and stuff like that, and having gone to Starbucks over the years. I actually went to the original one in Seattle. It was a little bitty, like the size of this room, but I would have never known that was a siren.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about at first.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. All right. This should really be a gem story because it could be mile high. But a hot air balloon crash that killed 5 in New Mexico 2 years ago was partially caused by a pilot's use of cocaine and cannabis, federal investigators have found. The NTSB ruling comes nearly 26 months after the deaths of longtime balloonist Nicholas Maliski, 62 years old, and 2 couples he had been tasked with transporting. Teachers and co-workers had chipped in to foot the bill for Susan Montoya, who for years served as assistant principal at the Georgia O'Keeffe Elementary School. Y'all know who Georgia O'Keeffe is?
No.
Very, very, very famous artist and of flowers, but that have vaginas hidden in them.
Really?
I swear.
Imagine you knowing that.
Imagine me knowing that. And they're actually pretty cool paintings because once I found out they had vaginas, and you had to find the hidden vagina, right? But anyway, all right. So, all right, back to it. So Georgia O'Keeffe Elementary School, and at the time had pegged a lofty balloon ride as being on their bucket list. Once the funds were raised, the ticket was offered as a going-away gift as she prepared to transfer to another school. Montoya invited her husband, John, along for the ride, as well as good friends of theirs, the Martinez. A retired Albuquerque police officer and sergeant in the Albuquerque Public Schools Police Department, and then such a thing, Martin, along with his wife, Mary, happily obliged and were in the basket later that day for an early morning liftoff. Pegged for just after sunrise, their excursion's outset at first occurred without a hitch, but Maliski, a pilot who had presided over such flights for decades, in charge. And initially the ride went as planned, with Maliski's balloon gently hovering hundreds of feet over the festivities before descending back down to attempt a landing. And that's when, to the horror of hundreds of onlookers, things went awry. As the balloon descended in the sky above Albuquerque, it came into contact with power lines detaching the gondola and causing a fall 100 feet right into a busy stretch of Albuquerque traffic. All died from blunt force trauma. The flight occurred under commonly accepted FAA protocols, which do not require drug testing because the balloon pilots are vetted months beforehand. And there you have it. I mean, I've actually been there in Albuquerque when that festival's going on. It's a very beautiful thing. But I've also thought,
Can you imagine?
Holy shit.
Falling 100 feet.
And you win it as your bucket list. It literally was their bucket list.
And that happens in rush hour in the middle of
and then,
oh my God.
And because your pilot was high on cocaine and weed.
Horrible.
Crazy.
I get a great party idea out of your thing. So instead of doing pin the tail on the donkey at my next party, I'm going to do a Georgia O'Keeffe version of that.
You can.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I can't believe you never heard her. She's like, I mean, their name is schools after her.
Yeah, have not. Well, folks, it's ridiculous that Jim did not tease this next segment in the tease at the beginning, but it's here anyway. It's here. The if I was allowed to have a stuff I'm not allowed to report.
Oh, shit.
Making its final approved board appearance, unless there is a successful appeal that we will undergo with the help of the Aglettes.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
Here we go. If I was allowed to have a stuff I'm not allowed to report, here are some of the topics I would not report in the report I'm not reporting. I would not report on the disgusting treatment former ESPN SportsCenter anchor Sage Steele has received from the sports network. I certainly would not report about how ESPN took away assignments and hosting duties from Steele because as a child of a black father and white mother, she chose to identify as biracial. I also would not report the fact that the network and the anchor have now formally parted ways because Sage dared to voice her concern that she was being forced to take a vaccine she did not want to take and that ESPN wanted her to identify as black. If I was allowed to have a stuff I'm not allowed to report, I wouldn't report the fact that for 2 weeks, the President of the United States couldn't be bothered to get off his beach chair and fly to Hawaii to visit and console the victims impacted by the Miami wildfires. I just got shown something I can't talk about. I would not report that the families impacted by the tragic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, more than 6 months ago, are still waiting for him to come visit. I also wouldn't report that the likely reason he's even showing up in Maui is so that he can make the false claim that this wildfire was caused by climate change. If I was allowed to have a stuff I'm not allowed to report, I wouldn't report that we seem headed toward an election matchup of less than 30% of Americans want. I would not report that both of these candidates might have to watch the election returns in an orange jumpsuit from a 5x7 cell. I also wouldn't mention that there are no less than 3 Republican candidates and 1 independent candidate that would likely beat Biden head-to-head, but Republicans seem hell-bent to run the one guy Biden will beat. If I was allowed to have a stuff I'm not allowed to report, I would not report on the fact that Johnny Depp, Amber Heard Netflix series exposes how truly awful both of these humans are. I would not report that the biggest crime of all with Depp and Heard is that more than 500 million people watched this stinking turd of a trial. I would also not report that the only tangible takeaway from this mess is what a diseased social media can become and how quickly it can get there. This has been the if I was allowed to have a stuff I'm not allowed to report.
Thank you, Jesus. It's over.
Appeal pending.
All right, y'all. So I just looked up Georgia O'Keeffe while Mike was doing all that bullshit. And
that was a very colorful.
I remember my sister had a couple of them. And back when I was in college. And so evidently that's what she's allegedly most famously known for, not to be proven because she died in like 1986.
Are they valuable? How expensive are those paintings?
The real ones are like millions.
Really?
They're like more famous than Blue Dogs and stuff.
Wow.
But you can't get an original. Oh, Mike, you probably got 10 of them in your house.
No, I don't have any of those. Unless my wife has hidden those.
All right, we're going to go
she likes to hide vaginas from me.
Miss Jerry, if you don't beat the shit out of him,
She's still got her earmuffs on from that dog story.
Okay, so
she's probably not
okay.
there.
All right.
We're going to go to Spring, Texas, and Tina Maria Jimenez, 38, is charged with money laundering and unauthorized reproduction and sale of temporary tags, which are both felonies. Jimenez ran easy used cars and trucks out of a small strip center. Investigators with the Department of Motor Vehicles believe it was a front to sell fake paper license plates for profit. Jimenez would receive payment via Zeal and often communicated about the sales with her employees on a Facebook group called Hustle Group. Easy used cars and trucks were registered with the Department of Motor Vehicles, and investigators discovered during a 13-month period that Jimenez issued no buyer tags, which means she sold no cars. However, she issued 1,037 dealer tags.
Probably $20 a piece. That's like major money.
Dealer tags are mostly reserved for agents of dealerships for test drives or loaner cars. In one example, records show Jimenez issued 8 vehicle tags to the same vehicle in a 1-month period.
Wow.
Sergeant Jose Escobano said those who are buying the tags are often trying to hide offenses. They use them for human smuggling. They use them to hide the identity of the car, which is very easy to do. And any one of those tags can wind up on a car that does robberies and burglaries. Escobano works for the Precinct 3 Constable's office in Travis County, where he's on a task force. He also teaches officers statewide on how to spot fake tags and has been a voice in the work to pass House Bill 718 in Texas, which will ban paper plates on all vehicles in July of 2025. The law was in response to the proliferation of fake paper plate tags on Texas roads in recent years. This is like a major problem in Texas. It's very lucrative, and you don't need anything to do it. You can go online to get a PDF and go to work, Escobano said. Jimenez made at least $5,345 and is expected in court next month. I would bet she made more than that.
And in Louisiana, you know, certainly when you get a new vehicle, you get a temporary paper tag, but they do also have dealer tags if you're a car dealer, but they all start with D. So if you ever see that, you know, it's a dealer tag, but the metal plates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, it's not a crime you often think about.
No,
these tag switching schemes.
People trying to, but you know, that goes back to the drug, like you said, sex trafficking, but drug trafficking all, and they have those cameras that are reading everything. So you can't read it if it's fake ass paper plate or paper tag. All right. To Michigan, home of the landing strip.
It is the home of the landing strip. Or at least it was the home of the landing strip.
Y'all, this is a pretty cool story. I don't normally read the titles, but I'm reading this one. So in a Michigan gas station, a customer calmly shoots a robber armed with a box cutter. This is the moment a hero customer stopped a man robbing a Michigan mini mart by shooting the suspect while carrying a 6-pack of Miller Lite beer. The incident occurred on July 27 when suspect Cordelius Anthony Martin, 35, armed himself with a box cutter and tried to rob Stone Lake's Marathon cash registry. The unnamed customer, who had a valid concealed carry permit, promptly took out his handgun and fired 7 shots at the suspect. The customer then held the man. I guess he missed him all 7 times.
He got it.
Okay, so the customer then held the man at gunpoint until law enforcement arrived. It is not yet clear whether he will face criminal charges. Martin entered the store announcing, "You know why I'm here," before pulling a mask over his face, right? Shouldn't you pull the mask over your face before you go in? He threatened the store clerk with the box cutter. The customer told law enforcement he could not see what the robber was holding, but saw the fear on the clerk's face. The man fired shots. Right, here it is. One hitting a liquor bottle, with others catching the robber in the arm, back, and face. The customer told the police the suspect fell to the floor but was crawling towards him. He therefore ran to his car, get another loaded magazine, and held the suspect at gunpoint until officers arrived. I'm pretty sure he wasn't getting up and running at this point. But the suspect was released from hospital and arraigned on a bunch of charges, including armed robbery. He's got a $100,000 bond. Cass County Prosecutor Victor Fitz said he is waiting for the police to finish the investigation before deciding whether to file criminal charges against the customer. In Michigan, we do have defense of others as part of the law, meaning it's lawful to defend others if there's a situation where the dangerous force being used against them. The victim of the robbery, who did not want to be identified, said the shopper saved my life.
Here's the there's
That
video.
made that dude's day, right?
There's a video.
Yeah.
He never puts down his 6-pack or 12-pack, whatever it was, of Miller.
Yeah,
he's got the beers, and he's shooting, and it's just like any other trip to the store for this guy.
Right.
And
But you
boom,
know-
and then he calmly goes out to get the new clip.
Not every see that I was going to say that for listeners. When we say magazine is what law enforcement and people who know firearms call the part of the weapon that houses the bullets, right? And more commonly referred to in the public as clips. You say that in a police setting, they'll say clips for your hair or clips for paper clips. It's a magazine. But the deal being is, don't you know a certain
What are you pointing at? I don't know anything about this.
a certain percentage. I'm going to teach you that. A certain percentage of, as soon as it cools off, you got to come to the country. A certain percentage of the people that get these concealed carry permits, they're just waiting, right? I mean, most of them are good.
Like Taco Vigilante that day.
Exactly. Certain percentage that have those permits are like, I wish a motherfucker would, to quote by Brandy on the show the other day. I wish a motherfucker would do something stupid in front of me.
But you never know how somebody would react if they've never been in that situation.
Right.
This guy, the coolest customer ever, just kind of, that guy's that guy's gonna rob the place. No, he's not.
Yeah, right. Just whipped it out. Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone supporting supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glace, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box. right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes, plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had. That's a good one.
That's a great one. Do you guys remember the Batman villain Two-Face?
I think so. You
remember Two-Face?
He's
I remember
his face side.
Yeah, so he was, Harvey Dent was his name, and he was the district attorney of Gotham City.
Yeah. I remember now.
And he gets
played
played
by
Tommy Lee Jones
Tommy
did it
Lee
in
Jones.
one of the early movies. I don't know who did it in one of the more recent movies, but he gets acid thrown on his face during a trial, and he becomes this bad guy who constantly flips a coin. And if the coin lands on, and the coin is a two-faced coin, shows both his acid-destroyed side of his face and his regular side of his face. And depending on where the coin lands, he will carry out the actions that sort of good guy Harvey Dent would or bad guy Two-Face would. And I think that character is the inspiration behind this gang, this group that has spawned across the country in very, very recent days. So they call themselves the Coin Boys. Mm-hmm. Go search Coin Boys on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, and you'll see just how significant this thing is becoming. But the Coin Boys determine every single thing they do by the flip of a coin. So each member commits that their entire persona revolves around coins, coin flips, and the element of chance. Their mantra is live by the coin, die by the coin. In a recent TikTok, a Coin Boy captain named Julio says, quote, "There is a new generation of Coin Boys. When a decision can go either way, that's when the Coin Boys come out to play." Apparently,
They sound like a bunch of badasses.
apparently this thing really took off over the summer, as there are a number of high schools across the country reporting the emergence of Coin Boys in their school. A high school teacher in Oregon issuing her first assignment of the new year was told by a coin boy, quote, "Heads I do it, tails I don't." And when it came up tails, he simply said, "The coin has spoken," and refused to do the assignment. It's unclear just yet how widespread Coin Boys are, but retired police officer Greg Spencer, this is an Oregon officer, now doing security work for Nike in Portland, said, quote, "We've had several incidents recently where people have come into the store and flipped the coin to decide whether to pay for the shoes or just walk out without paying. It's not hard to see this becoming a very significant and dangerous trend across the country." The Real Life, Real Crime Daily I-Team is on the story, and we will be watching it closely. Live by the coin,
Die by the coin.
die by the coin.
Well, you know, me and Woody, we've been knowing about the Coin Boys for years, but we didn't call them the Coin Boys. We called them nerds.
Right.
Right? I mean, really?
I wonder what they called you, because these are definitely not nerds. Watch the videos. Watch the videos.
Nerds. I mean, these are high schoolers flipping coin. I live by the coin, die by the coin. They don't do that.
They're not all high schoolers.
Y'all know what challenge?
Look, I didn't make fun of the story you got
You said high schoolers.
out of a community magazine that you just read. This is a real thing happening across the country, and you should look it up.
That
Y'all
was
know
on
what
WFD.
challenge coins are? Challenge coins,
Yeah.
Real men carry challenge coins.
That's right.
Not nerds. Coin Boys, I apologize. That was Jim.
They call
That was
themselves-
Jim
Mike
that called you a
defending the
nerd.
prepubescent, pimple popping Coin Boys.
Look, I stand for nerds. I cheered loudly in Revenge of the Nerds when the nerds won the fraternity Olympics, and I support the Coin Boys. And no, you are not nerds, guys.
Okay. All right.
Mile high time.
Mile high.
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
All right. So we got an interesting mile high crime today. And, we talk about a lot with these mile high crimes, TSA theft, and how it's actually, when you check your bags that you take your greatest risk from these employees at these airports. So I've done some research. I was curious to know the top 20 airports for TSA theft as reported so far in 2023. Well, it's interesting. I'm going to give them to you real quick. And these are the top airports across the United States for TSA employee theft where they were fired. So not necessarily the ones not caught, but the ones that were caught and fired. Who would you think number one is?
Atlanta.
Who would you say?
I'd say New Orleans or maybe Houston.
Miami International Airport. 29 people have been fired for TSA theft. Number two, JFK with 27. Number three, Los Angeles International Airport with 24. Number four, Hartford Jackson Atlanta International Airport with 17. So it's up there. Number five, Las Vegas McCarran with 15. Number six is Dallas Fort Worth.
Really?
Yeah. And New York. They're tied. LaGuardia Airport, 14 each. Number 8 is Newark Liberty, Philadelphia, and Seattle, 12 each. Number 11 is Orlando International Airport, and it has 11. Number 12 is Houston, George Bush Intercontinental Airport, and Salt Lake City at 10 each. Number 14 is Washington Dulles International Airport with 9. And number 15, that's right, Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport with 7, as well as Detroit. Number 17 is Boston Logan, Denver International, and San Diego International at 6. And number 20, Chicago O'Hare at 5. I'm surprised Chicago O'Hare was not higher on that list.
It's crazy. I've been to every one of them. And, the only one I ever had shit stolen was New Orleans. I was there more than
I don't check bags ever. I mean, I don't care if I'm going on a month-long trip, it's going to fit in a carry-on. During a recent ABC News investigation, an iPad left behind at a security checkpoint in Orlando was tracked as it moved 30 miles away to the home of a TSA officer last seen handling it. So now with the Air tags and Apple tags and all this technology, at least it's becoming easier to know when, some tomfoolery is going on.
Crazy.
These airports.
Interesting.
Yeah. Little stat for you Thursday.
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
Next week, I'm going to have a stat on the amount of coin boys that have pimples.
Well, I hope it's more fascinating than learning that all the biggest airports in the country with the most traffic have the most TSA incidents.
Hey,
now I feel educated.
The coin boys are aspiring to be TSA agents.
Yeah.
And
maybe they were flipping coins.
And that would go to show just
what did he say?
How nefarious they could be in the wrong role.
They told the teacher.
Live by the coin.
No, he told his teacher.
We should
the coin has spoken.
The coin has spoken.
The coin has spoken. What a slap.
Need that on a T-shirt.
Uh-oh.
Kinky crime time. Y'all ready to lay?
Kinky Crimes on Thursdays usually my favorite.
Kinky Crimes on Thursday. So I'm going to try to skip the title because I don't want to give it away. But loud neighbors and threats at an apartment complex in Houston led to the arrest of 2 sisters. The sisters are accused of grabbing their guns earlier this week to confront their noisy neighbors.
That ain't kinky.
Right. Well, the sisters claim the confrontation took place because the neighbors were being too loud during sex. Houston police arrested Alexis Davis and Treasure Bibbs, that must be her stage name, for pulling a gun on a married couple just before 7 on Monday morning. Davis and Bibbs both had guns and threatened to shoot Kevin Frank and Kiera McPherson for being too noisy. These weren't the first threats the couple had received from the sisters. Police say that the neighbors have had an ongoing dispute over noise coming from the couple's apartment. They've reportedly left notes on Frank and McPherson's door threatening to kill them and their kids. David and Bibbs faced 20 years in prison after being charged with ag assault with a deadly weapon. And Bibbs posted a bond, but her sister wasn't so lucky. David's bond was much higher. It turns out she was already on bond for a prior felony arrest. Now,
all over some loud sex.
I mean, David,
maybe you need to find out what that. Yeah, I mean,
off the wall,
these two females might want to know what that dude's doing over there to make his lady scream.
These, I would submit to you, these pistol packing sisters could take the coin boys out anytime.
Sounds to me, yeah.
That's a fight I'd like to see.
Right?
Thin walls there.
Right, evidently.
And that's a married couple with kids?
Yeah, but they had different last names. That was pretty weird.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's jealousy at its best right there. Right.
Maybe they were talking dirty shit out loud. They were talking dirty shit about the sisters. Maybe they were inviting them to come over.
Yeah. That might have been it. Might have been it.
Banjo time.
Shortchanging me on the banjos? Okay.
Well, we got a poem.
We do.
Oh,
so we have our second segment.
And please, people respond.
Of Poetic Justice. A story you guys liked almost as much as you liked the Shiver story. Because I know you guys love the Shiver story.
Coin Boys.
No. This is not about the Coin Boys. This is about Corey Kitchens. Do you remember Corey Kitchens?
I do not.
She is the one who wrote the book about grieving.
Yeah.
After she poisoned her husband.
She got her ass hammered in court the other day.
Yeah, and she's in Utah.
Oh, the good old firing squad.
Unfortunately, this poem comes out today because turns out they're not going to kill her.
Yeah, right.
Which would have been justice, but she's never going to see the light of day. So here we go. This Utah mother was oh so sad. So she decided to poison her son's dad. She wrote a book to ease everyone's grief. The balls on this woman were hard to believe. The book allowed her to avoid suspicion until the Utah police came a-fishing. Fentanyl, they said, at 5 times lethal dose. Made simple work for the coroner to diagnose. She poured it into his Moscow mule, thinking she'd played him for an absolute fool. Now that she's guilty, Utah has death. For what she did, she should take her last breath. But prosecutors are chicken and just go with life. We'll have to get justice with a jailhouse knife. So should you decide a dead husband you need, don't throw us off with a book to read. Just kill him good like we do in the South. We Southern folk know how to shut our mouth. That is the Corey Kitchens story.
No.
I gotta give it to you. That's pretty fucking good.
I think he's using AI to write poem on. He's asking AI, I'm telling you.
Are you doing it, Mike? Don't cheat. Are you plagiarizing yourself?
Chat GPT, would I ask you to write a poem? Yeah. And would you use that kind of language in a poem you wrote in Chat GPT? I don't think so.
Guaranteed.
Hey,
wow. I'm so good. They're accusing me of cheating. It's amazing.
I'm actually going to say that I actually like those. They were pretty funny. Yes.
Don't say it up.
I'm not going to say it out loud.
I did write a limerick. I did write a limerick. I'm not doing today.
No.
Thank God.
What's the one I'm walking through the jungle with my dick in my hand, the baddest motherfucker in the whole thing? That one.
I don't know if does that officially qualify as a limerick? I know it, but
I don't know.
It has to follow that. I once knew a man from Nantucket.
This one's kind of like it. This one says, walking through the jungle with my hand, baddest motherfucker in the whole damn land. Look up in the tree, and what did I see?
Oh, I didn't even do that. Yeah, I guess that would count, but probably not appropriate.
All right. I've been waiting on this one, Jimmy.
All right. They stole what? What they steal? Woody
steal
Overton.
this
How
time?
about some cakes with
Cakes.
a man's face on them?
There you go.
That's right. A Lancaster man stole 3 cakes with his face printed on them, and he is wanted by police. Anthony Jackson is accused of stealing those cakes. The 24-year-old supposedly ordered the cakes
I
online.
was gonna say you got your picture on.
Yes. Had his face printed on them, but never paid for them online prior to coming to the store to pick them up. A witness confirmed that the person who ordered the cake was the same person pictured in the photos that were printed on the cake. This witness also said the payment was not made online for the bakery items. Jackson went into the store, picked up the cakes, and then walked through the store, selected 4 canned products, 2 candles, and a small package of cupcakes and a box of chips. He proceeded to the self-checkout counter, scanned the small box of cupcakes and the box of chips, and paid $12.99. The cakes alone were valued at $90.40 and were never scanned or paid for. Jackson was identified, obviously, through the photos submitted for the cakes being matched to the security footage. And that is a picture of Mr. Jackson that I'm going to post for everybody to see.
Fine-looking
He is
lad.
still on the run, y'all. So if you recognize
He's a potential coin boy
Anthony
recruit.
Jackson, let us know or let authorities know.
Coin boy
He
recruit.
could be a coin boy recruit.
He probably is the leader
I was going to say he could be the coin boy recruiter.
of the coin boys. So
Congrats,
that-
Jim. The
that
tally
was good.
of money in all the crimes you reported today was $127.15. That's excellent.
Mike is a former coin boy, obviously.
I'm
They
so
stole
mean.
what?
They stole what?
At least my crimes are crimes, Michael.
Furries.
This has nothing to do with crime, but
Are you?
Coin boys and furries.
Hey, on
ESPN sucks.
On Friday's show, Jim's got a big story about a lemonade stand that was shaken down in the park last weekend. So listen in for that.
so funny.
All right.
Hilarious.
That's it.
Come
Love
on
all y'all. Always interesting fellows. And rrescue.org.
OurRescue.org. Get in the fight.
See something, say something.
That's right. In human trafficking
And
worldwide.
that's
Check
it.
them out for
Love and
more
appreciate
information. Anything else, Mike? Any breaking news on the coin
I think
boy?
Mike said enough.
There will be a Coin Boys 2. I promise
I'm
you.
sure
I
there
promise
will.
you that.
Oh, you're nothing else. You are persistent. I've always said that about you.
That's right. Also, we want to mention, check out our other stuff we do, Woody, Bloody Angola.
Bloody Angola, the clemency continuation.
Right in the middle of it, yes.
Real Life, Real Crime original drops on Tuesdays. Y'all, I just told the most disturbing part of the story. There's a reason I'm reading from the courtroom transcripts, because you hear what this guy confessed to. And we're about to wrap that up with the interview with the family. And then we'll do a call to action. So it's been a long one, but everything in there, if you're true crime fans, that's what really goes on.
Yeah.
And go follow us in the app, the Real Life Real Crime Community app, Bloody Angola also,
Yeah.
but the Real Life Real Crime Daily page and all our other Real Life Real Crime stuff. And
Absolutely.
love. And if you want to be one of the 3 people in the entire world besides the Coin Boys, number might have gone today, you can go follow Ago on his newly created TikTok account.
Is it newly created?
Yeah, you got
Saturday, I
Saturday.
believe.
And Bayou_Brandy on TikTok. Y'all go follow her and let her know that the Lifer sent you.
That's right. That's right.
Lifer sent you. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. A little bit out of sorts.
Yeah, look, y'all, 4 hours of recording today.
Right. And that's a limit for anybody.
That's right. Until next time, I am Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino.
For Real Life Real Crime Daily, peace.
Ruthie Cox Door.
Love Ruthie.
And all the acolytes.
Acolytes.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2, collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3, play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4, unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.